Hi there, welcome back. How are you feeling today? So in this video, I thought we would talk about Akashic Records. Now, I thought I'd create a video first, touching on the subject of Akashic Records, and then I want to get a feel for how you guys feel about it. So you'll need to let me know in the comment if you're a definite yes, that you'd love a meditation that guides you to enter your Akashic Records, or if it's something that you're not interested in at all. I'm having a strong pull towards yes, that we want to create a beautiful meditation to enter the Akashic Records. Before we do that, just like we did with the chakras, with the beautiful, beautiful chakras, we'll need to walk you through it. We're going to just jump in. It's like me throwing you into the deep end of the pool and going, here you go, now swim. So what are the Akashic Records? Now, as I say those words, what are the Akashic Records? What comes up for you? What do you think they are? What do you feel they are? So, like we said with the chakras, you need to feel into yourself to have the information of what it means to you. For me, the Akashic Records, for me, I know that before we come here, the soul has all the information of the universe. All the information is already within your soul before you come here. And we have to put all of that aside to come and have this human experience, because your soul has decided, I want to experience this particular thing in this human lifetime. And so you've put all that aside to come and have this particular experience. Now, for me, the Akashic Records is entering this gorgeous space where you have access to that infinite information. So that is stored in your soul. It's already there. All the information of the universe is already within you. I'm sure you've heard that many, many times. And that's because it is energetically, your energy already has all the information of the universe in it. So when we enter the Akashic Records, we have access to all this beautiful information. For me, one of the most beautiful things, one of the most beautiful experiences I've had is after I wrote Easy Mind, Easy Life, I discovered the Akashic Records on YouTube, and I tried quite a few and didn't have any success getting in. And eventually I found one meditation. I thought, okay, I'm in. So I finally had access. And through this beautiful meditation, as I went in, there was this huge library that went on forever. I couldn't see the end of it. It just went on and on and on and on. And as I'm looking at this huge library, I don't know if you've heard the video where I described my beautiful spirit guide that came in to assist with my ascension. And she had a beautiful owl face and the bright red hair. She was so gorgeous. One day when I went into the Akashic Records, she was there and she walked towards me. She showed me this podium. I think that's what they called when they're set up high and there's a book sitting on it, like what they read. You know, when you're in church and they're up high, I think it's a podium where they put the books and they read out to you. So she walked me to this podium. I'm hoping it's the right word. If not, I'll put it up here when I look it up later. It's the word that keeps coming back to me. So she walks me towards this, and as I go over there, there's a book, and it's got empty pages, and it's got so many empty pages. It's quite a thick book. And she looked at me and she said, you need to write. And in that moment, I knew what she meant. It was book 4, When Love Leaves. I needed to continue writing because I had given up at that stage. I didn't see the point of continuing to write. To be honest, when I wrote the first book, Your Past is a Gift, which poor little thing, I should put him up here. There you go. Can you see him there? Okay, Your Past is a Gift is just there. I always have him lying down. He was the first book. So when I read that first book, I honestly thought it was going to be the only one. Honestly, within my heart. I made the manuscript, gave it out, to 3 family members, and then I thought, okay, that's it. That I'm done. As long as my daughter has a copy, I'm good to go. And then I kept being nagged. That voice that tells you, sometimes it guides you. It started to nag me that I had to publish it and make it a book that anyone could have access to, not just my family. And so I followed that voice, found Belle Press that's connected to Hay House, and I have a high respect for Hay House because I love Louise Hay and I love Dr. Wayne Dyer that are part of that community. So I thought, okay, I'll go with Belle Press. So I never explained why I went with them before. And I published that book in 2017. And I thought that was it. I honestly thought that was it. That was the only book. I'm good, I'm done. And then in 2020, through that whole year of COVID with all the shutdowns and, we can't do this, we can't go out, we can't do anything, that nagging voice came back and told me to sit at the computer, that I needed to write. And I said, but I did it and I'm good. I said to the voice, I already spent a whole year doing that book and then I published it just like you said and I'm good to go. And the voice came back and it said, no, you have to sit and you have to write. And I remember sitting there, I think that Covered in Yucky Mucky Mud was the second book. And it was the one with the most resistance because I kept sitting there saying, I don't know what to write about. I've already written everything I know in this first book. What do you want from me? And that wasn't the point. The point was that they were going to dictate and I was just going to type it. I didn't realize that at the time. But then after about a chapter or two, I started following the voice of what to write. And then I realized, oh, I'm not writing it. I'm just typing it, And then it became a lot easier. Once I stopped resisting that, why do you want me to write? I have nothing left to say. I realized that it wasn't me that was saying it. And so I thought, okay, I'll do it, I'll start typing. And so then Covered in Yucky Mucky Mud came out. And then I was inspired to do all these beautiful meditations with Easy Mind, Easy Life. And then I felt like that was it. I mean, what more could I write about? I didn't have that much more experience apart from what I'd already put in my first book. And I felt like I needed to do other things, So in that time between this book to that book, I started to do Rika's Self-Love Mastery course. Like I started doing courses, other things to expand, my awareness, my consciousness, whatever it is that you want to call it. And that book was after I did all my Reiki and I had all these gorgeous experiences with the spirit guides I work with. I had so much stored information about the other side, other realms, all these beautiful beings I'm working with and how they interact with us. And so she was telling me, this beautiful guide in the Akashic Records, that I needed to write that book. And so I thought, okay. And then I sat down and then I relied on them to help me remember all the experiences because I couldn't remember them all. There were just so many. And then we had to decide, well, which ones do we include? Because otherwise that book would have been 5 times bigger. There were so many, so many experiences. I wouldn't have been able to include them all. So I thought, okay, well, you're going to have to help me because I don't know. And then after that book, I'd lost a little bit of faith because I don't know how to market, how to do the marketing thing. I don't know how to do promotions. I don't know how to sell things. It's not my nature. My nature is always teaching. During the afternoons, I teach piano, and I love doing that. I love teaching. But the selling and promoting and all that, I don't know how to do that. And to me, it feels icky. It doesn't feel natural for me to do that. So I kind of gave up. I lost hope. And by that stage, I'd sent a few copies to my friend Raphael. I'd sent him all the copies, I think, by then. The first 4. The Your Past is a Gift, the Covered in Yucky Mucky Mud, the Easy Mind, Easy Life, and that last one, because I'd had one of the most beautiful experiences in that book was with him. And so I wanted him to have a copy of that. And it was through him that my spirit guides guided me back to writing again, you know, because he could see the magic of what was unfolding just as I had before. I just didn't know how to put it out there, how to tell others that these books exist, how to tell others that this beautiful information is available, you know. So I didn't know how to do that. And so even though I didn't know how, he was so excited with all the information. He started telling everyone about it on his Facebook page and, you know, telling everyone. And I thought, oh, maybe, you know, okay. Because again, the voice came back that I needed to keep writing. And I thought, oh, okay. So there we were, writing again. And the next one was, You Can Change Your Past. So where we were going with all of that is that the information to start writing the 4th book came from the Akashic Records when I went in. So all the information for our path especially is in the Akashic Records, if we can connect to that space. It's a very high frequency space. You'll notice when you go in, it feels completely different to anything I've ever been in. Even when I'm with the beings on the other side, there is something about the Akashic Records that's just even higher frequency, if you can imagine. There's something about it that's actually quite magical. But in there, you can receive information about your path, information that you want to know. It's all in there. So the way to go about it is I can create a beautiful meditation for you and take you in to the Akashic Records. Firstly, the first few times that you go in, I would just go in and just observe. That's what I did the first few times myself. Just observe the space. Observe where you are. Observe what shows up. Because one time I went in and I was standing in the middle of all these tall buildings, you know, and different information came through that day. So just observe as you go in. You may be in a forest, you may be in a big library full of books. Sometimes that shows up for me, but not always when you go into the Akashic Records. The very first time I went in, it was just space. And because it was my first time and I wasn't sure, Archangel Michael was there. He always seems to be the one when it's my first experience of something, to be there, to just give me that sense of safe. Yeah, I'm safe. You know, that sense of peace, that it's okay. Everything's okay. Because I didn't know what to expect. I was a bit worried, you know, going in. Like, what is this place that everyone talks about? But as I got there, it was like floating in space, like what I would imagine is floating in outer space. There was just nothing there but him, you know. And then the first few times I went in and there was nothing, but as you go in, there's you can feel within you, there's a shift in energy. It just doesn't feel the same as being here on earth. It doesn't feel the same as the space we are sitting in right now. There's a shift in energy as you step into the Akashic Records. So in the meditation I'm going to guide you through, especially if it's going to be your first time, before we enter, we will call in one spirit guide. Whether you can see them or not yet, it doesn't matter. But it's just for you to know that that being is with you, that you're not alone in this space. And then, you know, the first few times, just observe, just see what's coming up, what's showing up for you with curiosity, with wonder. What's here today? Every time you go in, it'll be different because you're in a different space each time. Sometimes you'll be in moments where you're highly joyful. Other moments you may be, where you're feeling sad and you just want information about something. You're not quite, getting the information. So depending on your state as well as you go in is what you might find in there, After a few goes, 2 or 3 times that you go in and you get the feel for this place, and if you've had visions of what's in there for yourself, after that you can go in and ask a question. I mean, you can do it the first time as well, but I find the first few times it was always fun to just go in and observe this new place, just observe and feel into yourself the frequency of love that this place holds. It's amazing. So with time, you can go in with a question before you start the meditation. Get clear in your head what it is that you want information about, especially if it's about your path. Have one question clear and then step in and see what shows up. And whatever shows up for you on the day is perfect for you on that day. It's exactly what you needed, exactly what was meant for you. So, yeah, I'm curious, to see how everyone goes with that. Let me know if you've ever heard of the Akashic Records. I'm guessing most people here are quite spiritual. It's spiritual in the sense of wanting to know more about their spirit is what I call spiritual. People that are aware that they have a soul, that they are spirit in human form, and they want to know more about that. That to me is spiritual. These beings that are looking into what is it that my spirit is here to do. That is spiritual. You are connected to that, not just here having a human experience and engrossed in that. So, yeah, let me know. And I've had a few people bring it up, and I just keep thinking, well, if it's coming up a few times, there's obviously an interest. It's in people's minds, So, yeah, I'd love to be guided actually by them to go into the Akashic, to take you into the Akashic Records and for you to find your own beautiful information in there, where all the information of all the universe resides. It's an infinite space. All right, my beautiful beings. So let me know in the comments. I'll wait a few days, and then if there's enough interest, because this is something I can do at any time. I'm also thinking, well, if people aren't interested, they don't have to do it. It's there for those who do want it. I'm feeling a really strong pull to do it. That it will benefit people that are here. So let me know. All right, I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages, and share the beautiful videos. Let's see if there are others out there who want to go into their Akashic Records as well. All right, bye for now.